Welcome back to the Warrior Sports Network. I'm Brady Beedon. Now time for the Senior Spotlight presented by Henry Ford Health. Now we are joined this week by Senior Nick Ostas. Nick, thank you so much for joining us. As I start most of these interviews out, just want to hear your story, how you came here. You know, a Michigan kid, end up in Detroit. Tell us about your story of coming to Wayne State.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Coming out of high school, small town guy. Me and Dove being on the same team's honestly more rare than lightning striking twice in the same spot. But I just want to thank some of the coaches and great players I had surrounded by me at the time, because getting recruited out of a small town like that's really hard for anyone, really. But yeah, throwback to Coach Nowicki and Hensel just believing in me. And they brought me in actually as an O-lineman. They wanted to just transform me into a Landon Mitchell type. And fast forward to when Wheatley got here, Coach Rob told me, no, we want you back at tight end. And, yeah, here we are.
So what has that journey been like? You know, because the body of an offensive tackle and a body of a tight end are kind of different. Like if you're a tackle, you're going to have to put on a lot of weight. You're eating a lot. Tight end, you can be a little slimmer and you're trying to be a little more agile. So what was that like trying to get your body right? Because, you know, you get told that even in the spring you got 4 or 5 months to get yourself ready for camp. What was that transition like?
Yeah, so as a freshman, I actually got up to about 270, and that spring, it took me, honestly, that whole year to just get back to being a really good athlete, because all through high school I was a tight end. So, you know, I lost some of it and then had to come back, and it was a lot of work, I'm not going to lie, but all worth it in the end.
So you mentioned being a small town kid from Blissfield, near the southern border of the state. You know, what's that like? Because, you know, I came from a small town too, and you have these ideas of what Wayne State and Detroit are like, and then you get on campus. What was that like coming from small town America to the Motor City?
Yeah, being in a small town, you're really sheltered from a lot of life, a lot of different cultures of people, and it was good for me. And I think Dove would also agree that we needed it. Like, coming out of a small town, you don't really see life as it is, so you need the big town aspect.
What was one of the things about Detroit and Wayne State that maybe surprised you the most that you weren't expecting until you got on campus, or, you know, even were here a year or two?
I'd just say how welcoming the team was for me. Coming in, I was scared, you know, blue collar kid. Didn't think I would share a lot with much people, but, you know, all the guys that have come in with me that are still here, like the Ethan Gates, Lewin, all those guys, you know, those are my buddies for life.
So, Nick, I want to ask you about, you know, beyond the football player. What are you studying? What do you want to do whenever you finally hang up the cleats?
Yeah, so my degree will be in business management, but I'm actually going to be entering the Air Force post college, going into special warfare. So that'll be honestly another 2 years, 97 weeks of training. So.
So all right, you got to walk me through how you decided to do that, because, you know, usually the traditional path is either go to college or usually go into the military.
Yeah.
You decided to do that after college, and you said, 97 weeks of training?
Mm-hmm.
All right, what was that decision process like, and what are you going to do when those 97 weeks are up?
Yeah, so to become an officer in the military, in the Air Force, you have to have a 4-year degree. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, if it wasn't for my fiance, I would probably just be going back to Blissfield being blue collar. But she's in the Air Force as well, and she introduced the idea to me, and I loved it. I loved being able to just, you know, create something for myself and not going back home and just following the footsteps of my family. You know, as much as that's great, you know, I want to do something that I can be proud of myself and really follow the team aspect of like football, and just keeping that culture of, you know, playing for someone other than yourself.
So where does this training take place? Is it at one spot? Is it like, you know, what people think of basic training? Or, I mean, basically over 2 years you're going to be bouncing around. What is this training going to be like?
Yeah, so don't quote me on any of this, but it's based in Texas.
Okay.
And then throughout the 97 weeks, you'll be training they do 3 different aspects. They do a desert, a mountainous, and a jungle scenario. So you have to be ready for anything.
All right, listen, I know as hard as Coach Mendoza can be on you, I think he'll get you as ready as you can for that.
Yeah.
So, Nick, I just want to thank you again from your time. Good luck with the rest of the season, and then good luck with those 97 weeks. That's going to be awesome for you, but, yeah, I'm good with the deserts and jungles.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on.
Of course, he's Nick Ostas. I'm Brady Beedon, and you're listening to the Warrior Sports Network.